people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers.
You guys gotta understand the culture of the people. You know, they frustrated and they scared.
I think you've had too much to drink to be driving.
The police don't know how to treat us.
Look at a white girl trying to burn down the Wendy's. This wasn't us. This wasn't us.
We're not fighting to be resistance, rebellious. We are fighting because we fear our life.
People haven't felt heard in this city for a very long time.
It has been a difficult 48 hours for our city, with a deadly police shooting in southwest Atlanta sparking more allegations of police brutality and a new round of protests. Rayshard Brooks was killed Friday night in the parking lot of the Wendy's on University Avenue, the 27-year-old father of 4. Tonight, the officer who shot him has been fired. The district attorney's office telling us it is weighing whether Garrett Rolfe will or should be charged with murder, felony murder, or voluntary manslaughter. His partner Friday night, Officer Devin Brosnan, on administrative leave. Chief Erica Shields resigning with the search underway for her replacement as the city vows to take a harder look at Atlanta police policies. The shooting leading to protests last night, with the Wendy's vandalized and set ablaze, the building gutted. Now this is a live look at the protesters at the Wendy's right now, where they are calling for changes to police policies and laws in our state. We have team coverage tonight talking to community leaders and people who live there about how to stop this cycle and come up with tangible solutions to move forward and heal. But first, we want to take you through the body camera video showing how a traffic stop in the Wendy's parking lot started out in what seemed like an almost friendly tone, but then it changed in an instant. Here is
Around 10:30 Friday night, Rayshard Brooks was asleep behind the wheel of his car in the Wendy's drive-thru along University Avenue. Officer Brosnan responds. He knocks on the window several times. Nearly a minute later, Brooks responds.
You're blocking traffic here. You were sleeping when I walked up here. What's up, man? You just have a long day or something? What's up?
The officer asks Brooks to pull over into a parking spot. Moments later, he falls asleep again. Brosnan returns and asks Brooks if he had been drinking.
What? You say one drink. What kind of drink was it?
We just wanted a little margarita.
Brooks says he was waiting on his sister. Minutes later, DUI certified Officer Rolfe arrives.
So you think that you're in Forest Park right now?
I'm on Old Dixie Highway, Clayton County.
Right. No, you're not.
Well, Forest Park, Georgia.
No.
Jonesboro, Georgia.
No. Try again.
I have to. I mean, like I said, I'm on Old Dixie Highway.
Nope.
I'm not on Old Dixie Highway?
No.
Brooks then steps out of the car and fails a field sobriety test before agreeing to a breathalyzer.
Stop.
Rolfe then tells Brooks he is too drunk to be driving and attempts to take him into custody.
Oh, I think you've had too much to drink to be driving, so put your hands behind your back for me.
Brooks then pulls away, struggling with officers as the body cameras fall to the ground.
Stop fighting. Stop fighting. Stop fighting. You're going to get tased. You're going to get tased. You're going to get tased. Stop. Come on, man. Stop. You're going to get tased. It's a right. Hey, that is off the fucking taser.
Brooks grabs one of the officers' tasers and runs away.
63.
Officers fire 3 to 4 gunshots and then call for an ambulance.
Tonight, we are learning more about the former Officer Rolfe. He had been with the department for about 7 years. Last year, APD honored him for making 50 to 99 DUI arrests the previous year. His post file showing that he had just undergone cultural and the use of force and de-escalation training in April, breathalyzer and firearms training in March, and deadly use of force training in January of this year. Many are calling for Rolfe to face charges. Now, we asked the Fulton County District Attorney where the investigation stands, and he said today his staff witnessed Brooks' autopsy, and they are awaiting ballistic analysis and the medical examiner's report as well. They also identified 2 more witnesses, but the DA did not express difficulty in obtaining all the body cam video from APD. We do know that several minutes of the body cam video were released to the media last night. Now, Brooks' family spoke to reporters just hours after the shooting. They said they want a thorough investigation and for Rayshard not to have died in vain.
I just think for me, the most hurtful thing for me is to watch the video, wake up and watch that video. I got 2 little boys. They see the same video. That's their cousin. That's what hurt so much. I thought Atlanta was higher than that. I thought it was bigger than that.
Have set up a GoFundMe page. It has already raised about $36,000. Rayshard Brooks leaves behind his wife, Tamika Miller, and 4 children, ages 1 to 13. The attorneys say the money will go directly to his family. You can find that link on 11alive.com. The call has continued to grow louder in the past couple of weeks for the Atlanta Police Department to change how it operates in the city. 11 Alive's Andy Parati has been following a group of protesters, and they are demanding change. Andy?
Hi, Jeff. All peace and quiet right now, but that wasn't the case a short time ago. Since 3 o'clock today, a group of demonstrators, about 200 people strong, were circling the police department. They started here around 3 o'clock, and then about an hour and a half later, they were on the other side, demonstrating, protesting, demanding accountability from the police department, motivated by the recent killing of Rayshard Brooks. They are frustrated and they want accountability from city council members. One of those people that joined in the protest was Councilmember Antonio Brown. He says tomorrow he plans to introduce legislation that will prohibit the use of rubber bullets, flash bombs, and tear gas. We also asked him what his thoughts were on the mayor's participation in protest. Tonight at 9 o'clock, she's supposed to participate in a broadcast on CNN with other African-American leaders. He basically said, I don't have any comment about that. He also doesn't put the full blame on the former chief's resignation. He does not put the full blame on her for what has been happening. He says that the entire city council and the mayor are to blame, but we did ask him what he wants to see in the next police chief in the city of Atlanta.
I want a chief that knows the importance that you and I know each other, that we can communicate, that you know where I'm from, you know my struggles. So when you meet me and something happens where I'm intoxicated at a Wendy's, instead of you killing me, you're gonna say, oh bro, let me get you an Uber. Or, hey, even if you ran away, run away, I have a car, I'll eventually catch up to you once you sober down a little bit, and then, you know, what happened yesterday was unnecessary.
Councilman Brown also plans to introduce some legislation that supports painting a city road with Black Lives Matter, but he wants citizens to decide where that will be located. Jeff, back to you.
In downtown Atlanta. Andy, thank you. The shooting and subsequent fire at Wendy's taking a toll on this community. Natisha Lance spoke to community members about the events of the last 48 hours.
A day of cleanup in this Wendy's parking lot on University Avenue in Southwest Atlanta.
I'm only out here picking up trash because I feel like that's necessary to do, because I live here.
Marina Grant was the first person we spotted picking up pieces of trash.
As far as Mr. Brooks, he needed a clean protest. He deserved it.
An Atlanta police officer shot and killed 27-year-old Rayshard Brooks in the restaurant parking lot Friday. The broken glass and charred remains are what's left of the fast food restaurant after it was set on fire. Volunteers band together to sweep away the debris, but the loss is felt deeply.
This is the only restaurant where we can eat that gives us a decent deal, you know.
I come to this Wendy's all the time, so now we got black folks who don't have a job this morning.
A building can be rebuilt. A black life is never coming back. Rayshard Brooks, his children will continue to grow up for the rest of their life without a father.
For some in the community, Brooks's death brings attention to a bigger issue, treatment by law enforcement.
Anytime an officer approaches us, we're going to fight back, because we're not fighting to be resistance, rebellious. You know, we are fighting because we fear our life.
There is now a $10,000 reward for the arsonist who set the Wendy's on fire during last night's protest. Atlanta police sent out these photos of a woman they say may have started the fire. They are hoping you can help identify her. These pictures aren't the only place this woman has appeared. Christy Diaz has been working to verify some videos that have now gone viral.
A raging fire lit up the night sky as someone set fire to the Wendy's where Rayshard Brooks was shot. Soon after, these videos started popping up on social media.
Look at a white girl trying to burn down the Wendy's.
Appearing to show a Caucasian woman putting some kind of accelerant through the window. Many saying she wasn't even with the protest.
This wasn't us. This wasn't us.
It sparked outrage and finger-pointing as the videos went viral. This one now viewed more than 1.6 million times. As soon as we saw these videos pop up, we started to investigate and got to work to verify. Late Sunday afternoon, Atlanta police confirmed they believe this woman set the fire, wearing all black and covering nearly everything except her eyes. APD sent out these pictures and posted a link to this, saying a video of the woman was posted on social media. Now they're offering thousands to find out who she is.
Atlanta Fire Rescue confirming they are investigating the arson and were on the scene this morning along with the ATF, but they say they couldn't do much because the protesters were still there. They are also aware of those videos that many of us have seen, but they say they have no suspects at this time. State lawmakers today are calling for major police policy reform as the state legislature prepares to go back into session tomorrow. Tracy Amick joining us live now from the Wendy's off University Avenue, where lawmakers held a news conference earlier today. Tracy?
Well, by 3 o'clock this afternoon, this parking lot at this Wendy's was packed with protesters. A little later, local legislators came to talk about making changes. Now, Representative Sharon Beasley Teague said these changes need to happen on very many levels. She says the shooting that happened here the other night could have been avoided had they just not sent the police.
You don't always have to call the police on everything that goes down. The man was asleep. He wasn't causing no trouble. Hell, get out on the parking lot and take the orders. Do anything. Call the medic if somebody's sick. Sleep. He could have had a diabetic attack. Anything could have happened.
If you're born right down here and you're an African-American child, you have a 4% chance of ever rising up out of poverty. That's because there truly is no opportunity in our country the way it's set up right now, especially if you're African-American.
Beasley Teague also discouraged the destruction and burning of buildings like this Wendy's, saying this is where we work and these are our jobs. She did ask this crowd to join them tomorrow as they march to the Capitol. Now they're going to introduce 3 pieces of legislation. One is a hate crime bill. One is a bill aimed to repeal the citizen's arrest, and the other is a bill hoping to repeal Stand Your Ground.
See, thank you. And we have now learned that 36 protesters were arrested after going onto the interstate 75, 85 and blocking traffic on the downtown connector last night. It shut down traffic for about an hour in both directions. It began at 3 lanes, went to 7, then 14. We're told of those arrests, 4 people were from out of state, 17 were from other cities across Georgia, and 15 had Atlanta addresses. Their names and charges have not been released as of this hour. Still ahead, it's a popular but controversial restaurant. Why it is the subject of protest tonight at the governor's mansion.
Not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest
Right now, protesters are moving toward the governor's mansion, demanding an economic boycott against several big-name companies until they announce support for systemic changing. Faith Habube is there right now. Faith, give us an idea what the crowd looks like right now and the sort of vibe that's going on, if you would.
And Jeff, the protesters just arrived here in front of the governor's mansion. You're taking a live look at what they're doing now, which is kneeling on one knee and with their fists raised. We just saw two state patrolmen try to tell them to move out of the roadway or else they'll be shutting down this protest. They've been able to convince the officers that they're observing a moment of silence and that they'll soon move out of the way. So it seems like the State Patrol has left them alone for just a little bit. So right now they're just quietly kneeling and raising their fists and protesting police brutality and also calling for people to support black-owned businesses. This is specifically an economic boycott in the sense that they want to affect the bottom line of streaming services and entertainment platforms. Now, back in 2019, there was a report published on Nielsen's website that said that the African Americans have a really strong and powerful buying power. At the time, it was $47.8 million a year, which was on par with many countries' GDP, and it outpaces spending nationally, according to that report that was on Nielsen's website. So this is exactly why they're calling for this economic boycott. There are about 3 dozen or so protesters here so far, and they got here within the last 5 minutes. They originally gathered on West Paces Ferry, closer to the OK Cafe area. They were actually in that parking lot there, and that's about 2 miles from where we are now here at the governor's mansion. And there, the organizer basically explained to the group why they are gathered and told them the mission and asked them to post video, a pre-edited video that they've put together, to post that on social media starting tomorrow and explaining what the economic boycott is all about. And what they're really calling for specifically is for these supporters to cancel their subscriptions to entertainment platforms like Netflix, Amazon, Hulu, those platforms until they promise to support systemic changes that actually improve black lives. And I talked to the organizer, Kyle Campbell, who is a recent graduate of Boston University, and here's how he explains it.
So the reason behind we want to boycott the non-black owned streaming services is because for far too long these services have distributed black culture and they've done very little to preserve, protect, and invest in it. They know what affects their bottom line, and they know that if they just put a hashtag Black Lives Matter on their new stuff, that it's not going to affect their bottom line as much. They don't really care. So what we want them to do is put their money where their mouth is and invest into lobbying efforts that actually help the black community.
And they've already started an online petition that's garnered almost 11,000 signatures so far, and they're continuing to spread their message. We'll continue seeing what they plan to do here, and we'll explain as things develop here. Back to you, Jeff.
We do have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings out. One for the northern part of Fulton County, Roswell, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, hail headed your direction. Same thing for Johns Creek, Cherokee County, Canton. Very strong thunderstorm moving over you. Woodstock, this is headed your direction. Same thing. Hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I'll detail more about these thunderstorms coming up after this.
Is Georgian doing their part to make a difference? We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Prime Time, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscasts not enough for you? Get even more at 11 Alive's YouTube channel, where you'll find uncut interviews, extended body cam footage, live streams of Atlanta's biggest trials, and more. Subscribe to 11 Alive today.
Over the past 45 minutes, we've had several severe thunderstorm warnings that developed first in northwest Georgia, and they have now come down into metro Atlanta. Let's get right into it. Let's take a look at the radar. Two severe thunderstorm warnings are remaining, one for Fulton County and the other for Cherokee County. We'll take a zoom in on these real quick and give everybody a look. If you're in Canton, you've been experiencing this thunderstorm for about the past 20 or 30 minutes. And then Roswell, this storm is about to be right on top of you. The one for North Fulton County is in effect until 6:45. And then the one for Cherokee County, that's also in effect until 6:45. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. These storms have actually had a history of producing even larger hail than that. There were some estimates that we saw maybe as big as 2-inch hail, and that is the size of hen eggs falling from the sky. So suffice to say, damage certainly possible with these thunderstorms. So Canton, the thunderstorm will continue to move over you. Roswell, this is headed your direction. Same thing into Johns Creek at Norcross and Sandy Springs. So this will all continue to push northeast to 285 and into I-85 as well. All these storms that you're seeing here on your radar, especially north of I-20, could be producing hail and strong wind gusts. But at this point, they are not severe except for those two in Cherokee and Fulton County. There is a level 1 threat, and so that's what these storms are moving through right now, and it's pretty much for the I-85 corridor. Once you get south of that, it really starts to drop off. We'll continue to see those storms push to the south and to the east for the rest of the evening, and really I think by 9 and 10 o'clock we're pretty much be done with them. But then we'll find more scattered showers and thunderstorms developing for Monday, a lower severe threat with that, because we're going to be cooler in terms of temperatures. And really, not just for tomorrow, for a lot of this week, all the way through Wednesday, we're going to have temperatures in the upper 70s to near 80 for a high as a cool air wedge holds place. And it's also going to help keep rain chances in the forecast about every single day this week as well. Lows fall into the 50s and to the middle 60s, 64 for a low here in Atlanta. And then highs, yeah, these are the high temperature forecasts, which is kind of hard to believe when you look at northeast Georgia, 79 for a high, in Atlanta, 80s to the southwest of that, maybe even only in the 60s across the North Georgia mountains. I'm going to give it a 7 on the whizometer, as temperatures are well below average, and we'll hold on to that chance of rain for a while. I mean, all the way through Thursday. It's going to be kind of a cloudy and dreary setup a little bit for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I know rain chances are relatively low, but we're not going to get a whole lot of sunshine out there, which is why we're not going to warm up very much, but that doesn't last long. We're back into the lower 90s with the humidity by the weekend. We'll be right back.
And every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Let's start with a viral message going around. Quote, vast majority of people who died had ibuprofen Advil in their system. This message is fake.
We just bought 20 dust masks for $97.
Are you doing this to help people or are you doing this to make money or both?
Both. Take this email sent to the Verify team. Is it safe to have your house cleaned by outside workers? The best practice is to limit guests to emergencies only.
We know things are changing every day, but we're here with you. Continuous COVID-19 coverage during prime time. We're committed to giving you facts, not fear. On 11 Alive News Primetime, weeknights from 8 to 11 on WATF.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Today at noon on 11 Alive.
We are seeing that lack of smell or altered taste can be a symptom.
We answer your coronavirus-related medical questions. Because 11 Alive is where Atlanta speaks.
Televised newscast not enough for you? Get even more at 11.
We are coming up on 6:30 p.m. on this Sunday, and the protesters remain active in southwest Atlanta. That's University Avenue, outside the burned-out Wendy's, where the shooting occurred Friday night around 10:30, 10:45. The protests have been ongoing since. We will have complete information for you at 11alive.com and more here at 11 Alive and WATF. The news continues right here.
In times of great uncertainty, some things become more clear. The things we take for granted, the people we depend on daily. Here at 11 Alive, we'd like to say thank you. First responders, medical staff, sanitation workers, truck drivers, postal workers, and every brave Georgian doing their part to make a difference. We see you, we hear you, and we appreciate all that you do.
Say his name! Rayshard Brooks! Say her name! Say his name! Rayshard Brooks! Get your fist in the air! No way, bro! From the back, you say how do you justify that? 3 shots in the